Hello, welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess and today I'm bringing you 100 general knowledge questions to get your teeth into. So, brain matter ready? Let's go. Which major event marked the beginning of the Neolithic Revolution? A gradual warming as Ice Age ended, groups of humans gave up the nomadic lifestyle, or domestication for religious reasons? Groups of humans gave up the nomadic lifestyle. Which era marked a switch from agricultural practices to industrial practices? The Industrial Revolution. Who was the ruler of the Mauryan Empire, known for his conversion to Buddhism? Ashoka, Siddhartha Gautama, or Chandragupta? Ashoka. Which year was George H.W. Bush elected president? 1983, 1976, or 1988? (1988). The fall of which ancient empire is traditionally dated to 476 CE? Rome, Babylonia, or Aztec? Rome. What term refers to an old form of government in which a single ruler had absolute power? Autocracy or democracy? Autocracy. Who was the powerful Mongol leader who founded the Yuan dynasty in China? Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, or General Ketbuka? Kublai Khan. Which ancient civilization developed in the region known as Mesoamerica? Olmec Society, Zapotec Society, or Maya Society? Olmec Society. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, limited the power of which English monarch? King Edward, King John, or Alfred the Great? King John. What term refers to a period of renewed interest in art, culture, and learning in Europe during the 14th and 17th centuries? Renaissance. Who was the Italian explorer credited with discovering the New World in 1492? Christopher Columbus. Where was Martin Luther King Jr. born? Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, or Augusta, Georgia? Atlanta, Georgia. Which Revolutionary War marked the beginning of the French Revolution? Anglo-French War, Saint Sardos, or storming of Bastille? Storming of Bastille. What term referred to the policy of extending a country's power through military force? Anti-imperialism, imperialism, or neo-colonialism? Imperialism. Who was the leader of the Haitian Revolution? Toussaint Louverture, Henri Christophe, or Duty Boukman? Toussaint Louverture. True or false? Thurgood Marshall was the first black Supreme Court justice in the US. It's true. The Opium Wars in the mid-19th century involved which two countries? US and Afghanistan, Great Britain and China, or England and France? Great Britain and China. What term refers to the policy of building up strong armed forces to prepare for war? Militarism, imperialism, or jingoism? Militarism. Who was the leader of the Indian independence movement who used non-violent resistance? Cesar Chavez, Eleanor Roosevelt, or Mahatma Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi. Name the battle in the Pacific fought between the US and the Imperial Japanese Navy in 1942. Battle of Midway, Battle of Badr, or Battle of Waterloo? Battle of Midway. Which event in 1914 sparked the beginning of World War I? John Pershing death, Ferdinand Foch death, or Franz Ferdinand death? Franz Ferdinand death. Which refers to the ancient belief of the superiority of one's own country or ethnic group? Bellicism, ethno-relativism, or ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union during much of the Cold War? Nikita Khrushchev, George Melenkov, or Nikolai Shrevnik? Nikita Khrushchev. Which city served as the capital of the Inca Empire in South America? Machu Picchu, Cusco, or Pisac? Cusco. What year did the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, go into effect? 1992, 1997, or 1994? 1994. Who was the leader of the Chinese Communist Party who established the People's Republic of China in 1949? Mao Zedong. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended which major conflict? Cold War, World War I, or World War II? World War I. Who sent Christopher Columbus to explore the New World? King Ferdinand of Spain. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought on the nuclear war between who? Catholics and Protestants, US and Soviet Union, or Britain and Germany? The US and Soviet Union. What term refers to the period of tension between the US and Soviet Union during the second half of the 20th century? World War II, the Cold War, or the American Civil War? The Cold War. Who led the African Congress and became the first black president of South Africa? Kgalema Montaz, Thabo Mbeki, or Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela. In what year is the bubonic plague believed to have started in Europe and Asia? 1416, 1346, or 1534? 1346. The fall of the Berlin Wall symbolised the end of which historical conflict? The Cold War, World War I, or World War II? The Cold War, which refers to countries that became interconnected through increased trade. Deglobalization, globalization, or regionalization? Globalization. Who led the Soviet Union at the time of its dissolution in 1991? Boris Yeltsin, Mikhail Gorbachev, or Clement Voroshilov? Mikhail Gorbachev. What was the name of the international group formed to maintain world peace after World War I? The League of Nations. Which ethnic group was mass murdered by the Hutu majority in 1994? The Tutsis, the Hutsus, or the Twa? The Tutsis. What was the first known civilization to develop in Mesopotamia? Assyrians, Sumerians, or Akkadians? Sumerians. Who was the leader of Iraq during the Gulf War in 1990 to 1991 and the Iraq War in 2003? Abdul Salam Arif, Ahmed al-Bakr, or Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein. The colonialism started to be built under which Roman Empire, while which Roman Empire was in power? Nerva, Titus, or Vespasian? Vespasian. What government was common in Greece, where citizens participated in decision-making? Athenian oligarchy, Athenian monarchy, or Athenian democracy? Athenian democracy. What was a common system of writing used in ancient Mesopotamia? Cuneiform. What ancient wonder of the world was located in the Egyptian city of Alexandria? The Sphinx, Saqqara, or Pharaohs? Pharaohs. True or false? Hurricane Katrina was a Category 7 hurricane that hit New Orleans in 2005. It's false. It was actually a Category 5. Who was Hammurabi? King, dynasty, or chief? King, the 6th Amorite king of the old Babylonian Empire. Which famous Roman leader was assassinated on the Ides of March in 44 BCE? Charlemagne, Julius Caesar, or Napoleon Bonaparte? Julius Caesar. Which system of government divided power between central authority and individual states? Authoritarianism, oligarchy, federalism. Federalism. In what year did the Syrian Civil War begin? 2009, 2011, or 2013? 2011. What famous Renaissance artist painted the Sistine Chapel ceiling in the Vatican? Raphael, Donatello, or Michelangelo? Michelangelo. In which year was the government of the United States established? 1801, 1787, or 1754? 1787. Halfway there, how are you doing? Which two countries signed the Good Friday Agreement in 1997? Britain and Ireland, Britain and France, or Britain and Scotland? Britain and Ireland. Which famous French military leader crowned himself emperor in 1804? Louis III, Napoleon I, or Charles III? Napoleon I. What government was established in Russia following the Bolshevik Revolution? Iron Curtain, Soviet Union, or USSR? The Soviet Union. Which country voted to leave the European Union in a referendum known as Brexit? Poland, Croatia, or the United Kingdom? It's the United Kingdom. Which famous inventor is known for his development of the light bulb? Alexander Bell, Thomas Edison, or Nikola Tesla? Thomas Edison. In 1996, a sheep became the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell. What was the name of that sheep? It was Dolly the sheep. Do you remember? Which of the below ships sank in the North Atlantic Ocean in 1912? Mary Rose, Titanic, or Lusitania? The Titanic in April 1912. What year did the internet become available to the public? 1990, 1995, or 1993? 1993. What wall was constructed during the reign Chinese Emperor Qin Shi Huang? The Wall of Forbidden City, the Great Wall, or the Dali City Wall? The Great Wall. Name the whistleblower who leaked classified information from the National Security Agency in 2013. Edward Snowden. Which famous American civil rights leader delivered the I Have a Dream speech? Whitney M. Young Jr., Martin Luther King Jr., or James Farmer? Martin Luther King Jr. What year was Nelson Mandela freed from prison? 1990, 1989 or 1993? (1990). Who co-founded Microsoft and became one of the wealthiest people in the world? Paul Allen, Bill Gates or Larry Ellison? Bill Gates. Who wrote the anti-Semitic diatribe known as the Gemlish Letter in 1919? Augusto Pinochet, Adolf Hitler or Benito Mussolini? Adolf Hitler. Which British scientist is known for his theory of evolution by natural selection? Isaac Newton, Anne Maclaren or Charles Darwin? Charles Darwin. Name the ex-slave that led a slave revolt on the island of Hispaniola and by 1801 controlled the whole island. Toussaint Louverture. Who was the president during the majority of the era of good feelings in the US? James Monroe, William Harrison or Zachary Taylor? James Monroe. In the TV series Thunderbirds, what colour are Brain's spectacle rims? Blue, black or green? Are you trying to visualise him now? They are blue. Who was the Prime Minister that institutionalised apartheid in South Africa in 1948? Daniel Francis Malan. What was the name of the research ship Charles Darwin travelled with? The Beagle, the Bat, or the Mole? The Beagle. The ancient world wonder, the Hanging Gardens, was found in which city? Babylon, New York, or Long Island? Is this an easy one for you? The Hanging Gardens in Babylon. How many days in a week were there in ancient Roman times? 11, 5, or 8? There were 8. Now, did that mean a longer weekend or a longer working week? Which convicted fraudsters' underpants were auctioned off in 2011 for $200? Bernie Madoff. Did you buy pants? What teaching aid did William Harbert produce in 1900 in an old flour mill near Bath, UK? Play-Doh, plasticine or clay? Plasticine. True or false? Madam C.J. Walker was the first woman to make $1 million in the US. It's true. She was an American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and political and social activist. What is George H.W. Bush's wife's name? Barbara, Laura, or Marie? Laura. In 1927, who became the first man to fly solo and non-stop across the Atlantic? Enric Hartmann, Noel Wine, or Charles Lindbergh? Charles Lindbergh. What year was the Vietnam Veterans Memorial dedicated in Washington, D.C.? 1982, 1987, or 1991? 1982. What was the first state to legalize same-sex marriage? Colorado, Massachusetts, or Indiana? Massachusetts, and it was in 2004. Who was president during the Cuban Missile Crisis? John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? John F. Kennedy. Which US president had a home called the Hermitage? Gerald Ford, Andrew Jackson, or Ronald Reagan? Andrew Jackson. Which famous battle took place on Sunday, June the 18th, 1815? Battle of Antietam, Battle of Yorktown, or Battle of Waterloo? Battle of Waterloo. What is considered the largest empire in history? The British Empire. Who was the last Tsar of Russia? Nicholas II. How many Celtic languages are still spoken today? 4, 10, or 6? It's 6. In what year did Libya gain independence from Italy? 1951, 1963, or 1972? 1951. Where did Albert Einstein live before moving to the United States? Hungary, Germany, or Austria? In Germany. True or false? Operation Barbarossa was the code name for the German invasion of the Soviet Union during World War II. It's true. Who was the first ruler of the Mongol Empire? Ogedai Khan, Batu Khan, or Genghis Khan? Genghis Khan. Which King of England was executed in 1649 during the English Civil War? Edward VIII, Charles I, or George V? Charles I. Which world leader is famous for his Little Red Book? Mao Zedong. In which country did the Easter Rising take place in 1916? United Kingdom, Denmark, or Ireland? In Ireland. What name is given to Britain's policy of avoiding strict enforcement of parliamentary laws on American colonies? Salutary neglect. Which Greek historian is known as the father of history? Theopompus, Herodotus, or Ctesias? Herodotus. Who was the first man to swim the English Channel? Charles Toth, Matthew Webb, or Antonio Albertondo? Matthew Webb. The Peloponnesian War was fought between Athens and which Greek state? Thebes, Sparta, or Corinth? Sparta. What is the name of the first car ever made? The motor wagon. True or false? Lady Jane Grey reigned for just 9 days as the English Queen. It's true. In which year was the first Super Bowl played? 1943, 1958, or 1967? (1967). And your last one. Who is known for running through the streets shouting "Eureka"? Archimedes, Plato, or Euclid? Archimedes. So, are you shouting Eureka? Drop your score in the comments below and like and subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new quiz. And please join us for more fun next time on Quiz Time.